Alright guys, Supreme Kami here, and today we are gonna talk about Annabella. So I do already have her at 6 stars, so we are gonna progressively advance her as we do get to like 1 star, 3 star to kind of show you guys like her importance at that point in time. But let's actually just kind of hop in without wasting any more time. So what I'm gonna do, I'm pretty much just gonna be showing you guys like her, like her nitty gritty stuff, like what's best to use and etc. So if you do take a look at her normal attacks, the one that pretty much stands out the most is gonna be the cross knife, because I want to actually grant you 2 additional effects when you guys do actually use it. Manual cross knife looks like it's gonna be like this. A more effective way to do it is they actually embedded it into the dodge attack. So the dodge attack is actually called the Tranquil Heart. Within the Tranquil Heart, it actually had 1 additional passive. That is after you use it, after you do like a dodge attack, it's gonna grant you 1 fully charged cross knife. So that's actually perform the same thing as you would if you manually charge it. So dodge attack is gonna give you that. So always do charges or always do your dodge attack, because that's pretty much gonna be like the bread and butter as how you want to be using her. So I think up next we can just kind of quickly talk about her actual skills, which is actually a lot. There's actually a few things going on. First of all, she actually have 2 different playing style. She have a gas version and then she have a burn version. The burn version is pretty much gonna be like acting as like a sub DPS support to your Ruby, because if you guys do know Ruby, there's 2 parts into her kit, like her discharge and then her skills that require your enemy to be burned to do more damage. So that's where Annabella kind of comes in to fill in that slot, like an actual main, like a sub DPS to that. So that's actually great. So if you guys do want to use your Ruby, if you guys do have it, definitely do take advantage of it. If not, that's fine. So gas is probably not going to be like the more important playing style for you guys. So gas one is probably going to be the more important one, because the gas one is pretty much going to be doing like all your damage, etc. So let's actually go over to her skills now. So we're just going to click on it. And then in terms of selection, this is a pretty much what we're having now. So it's pretty much going to be asking you which one of the 2 you want to select. And then by the time how many every seconds that elapse, it's going to stop it here. And then after that, it's not going to display a cooldown time yet, because you still have to confirm it. After confirming the actual typing you want to use, so they say after confirming the module, that's where they're going to give you a little bit more passive. So the one that's immediately going to pop up in your status bar is going to be these 2 over here. So another additional effects that on top of it is going to be called the optical enhancement. So the optical enhancement pretty much going to give you a manual snipe. This is going to grant a 3 or 30% faster recharge. So that's that. So that's one effect. The other one is they're going to give you this. They're going to give you the dodge. So for every 2 times you dodge, you can be covered once. So you guys can definitely do the map on that one. So that's pretty much how it goes. And then this one pretty much applies once you select which magazine you want to use. So this one essentially says how many of the actual cross snipe you can do before going ahead to reapply your Ember Mag again. So that's pretty much how it works. So let's now go over on her actual weapon. Just kind of play it and show you guys how it looks like. We will actually use Ruby to kind of give you guys like what you want to use after that. So I think, okay, so let's actually do this dodge attack. So you guys can see that we're throwing in some bombs, and then we are actually doing the fully charged cross snipe as well. So you guys can kind of see it. Is it targeting? No, it's too far. Okay, I think it's going now. And then after that, you pretty much want to immediately go into Ruby if you have her. Why? Because in terms of the actual burn, the burn gives you like a 13 seconds for the burn. So that's why you want to immediately go into Ruby, use a discharge, use your skill, so you can benefit a lot more from that. But I did not cover like the actual burn effects. Sorry. So let's actually go back to that. So here we are. So there's actually, I guess there's only 1 effects for the burn. So pretty much when you hit your opponent, if your opponent is not in burn status, you can apply burn to them. So if your opponent is burned already, you're gonna apply a burn enhancement. So let's see if I can kind of pull that off for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. So let's do this. Do another one. There. Okay, so two times. So what we did two dodge attacks. So this one's gonna, since the opponent was burned and then hit them one more time. So now they get the burns enhancement. So their burn damage is gonna go up by 20%. That's hot. So that's pretty much wraps up the burn mode bit. So I guess now we can hop over to the actual gas version. If we are gonna go to the gas mode, we just pretty much gonna apply the skills and then we are gonna stop where it needs to be. So once you select the skills, you guys can see that it pretty much reapplies the dodge and then reapplies the cross knife ammo for you. So yeah, let's actually test her out real quick and just gonna show you guys how it looks like. So what she actually does within her dodge attack, so just to kind of show you guys how it looks like. So it's gonna look like that. So what you guys saw, we saw a few. We saw like the gas. So within that gas, the opponent or it's gonna have that gas for like a 7-second duration. And then if you have the bomb like we did right here, so you guys can see the bomb kind of going on right there. So that's actually detonated, so we can actually get a little bit more damage on top of that. So so this is why this is like the actual true DPS in her overall kit. So within the actual gas mode, so you actually reduces your enemy flame resistance by 10%, and then you also reduces 0.7 seconds of other flame weapons cooldown as well. So that's pretty good. But in terms of the cooldown, I believe there is a chance. So you never really know unless you check it 100% of the time. So but that's pretty much like the entirety of it. So I don't like, I think it's not as bad like actually doing it, like actually physically doing it, because when I was reading it I was like, my gosh, what are we looking at? All right, so the last thing to go over as far as like her complete kit is gonna be the Tranquil Heart. So that one pretty much is gonna be something that you can get when you're dodging. So this stacks up to 3 times. So let me click on this. So this is going to be another pass up you can get, the Tranquil Heart. So this one pretty much increases the Clover Cross final crit rate by 3.5%. So that stacks up to 3 times. So after your crit rate exceed 100%, it actually convert 5.25 to crit damage. So that is really neat. So just her at A0. Like we're talking about zero Zar, she's doing all that much. So that's why if you guys are planning or like contending to see, oh, should I summon for her? I think she's definitely a very great character. Just looking at her as zero star because we are doing a lot. So yeah, I'll definitely highly recommend you guys to get her if you guys do not have like an actual limited flame weapon at your disposal. I think she's definitely going to be making a very impactful spot in whatever build you guys are looking at. So yeah, so I guess up next, let's go over to her actual enhancement. Alright, so I have advanced Annabella to 6-star now, so let's kind of take a look at her overall kit in terms of the advancement. So her 1-star is she's gonna get an optical space when you do 2 attacks with the cross knife. So it's gonna look like this, so you guys can see that we created like a spears around the enemy. So I believe now she does 2 additional burn tally. So I'm assuming she does 2 more burn ticks. I think that is what it's supposed to be. You guys definitely correct me if I'm wrong on that. And besides that, so once the enemy leaves this optical space, you are going to reduce the enemy speed by 80% for 2.5 seconds. So that's just a little bit of a utility, which I think is going to be good, especially in Bygone. And last but not least, let me do this one more time. So now that you have this, right, and then we're gonna switch over to Ruby. So now her cubes, you guys can see that it is actually going to be bouncing within. So you are now going to be able to get a more consistent bounce than what you normally can. So that's good. So that's pretty much like her 1-star. So great utility, slowing down an enemy. Assuming you burn 2 1 times, do correct me if I'm wrong on that one. But yeah, so not a whole lot, but you do get a little bit out of it, or at least you get a little bit more consistent the spark bounce. And 3 stars now she's going to be able to heal. I believe the cactus does not fully show the healing portion of it, so I think I'm going to put a gameplay from just outside besides the cactus and show you guys that we are actually healing now. So that's great. So after you get a critical hit, landing a critical hit on the enemy, you will now be able to get 50% health back, so that's great. It's not bad. It's definitely not bad because Flame Comp usually does not have like a consistent healer, so just having herself be able to heal really solid. She also does gain 50 weapon charge as well, and then she also does increase her final hit rate from 3.5% to 6% up to a 18% after the 3 stacks, and then now her critical damage jumps up to from what 5.25 to 9% for the conversion, so that's good. That's pretty solid. As for the other investment, let's say 5 star to 6 star, it's not like a whole lot. This pretty much going to be increasing what is it, the burn damage now from 20% to 30%, and then as far as the flame resistant down, it's going to be from 10% to 30%, so not a whole lot, is a little bit, so it's not really worth it unless you're like a big whale, you gotta have the 6 star. But otherwise, I think even 1 star or 3 star, I think she is definitely really solid. And 6 star, you're getting another 12% increase to the cross time attacks and stuff. So not a whole lot. 12%. It's definitely, more power to you if you guys are able to get a 6 star, but it's not really necessary. Alright, so I guess the next topic is to obviously talk about Annabella's and Matrices. So should you be getting them? I think in my honest opinion, getting her 2 piece is definitely worth the buck for it, just because what she is providing. So first of all, she's going to be increasing your final damage by 3% up to a 4.2%, and also providing another final crit rate by 2% all the way to 2.4 for 25 seconds. So these effects are going to be able to stack up to twice, and these effects are obviously going to be able to carry to the next weapon. So they are enhanced working in the background for you, so that's great. But on the other hand, as for the 4 piece set right here, they are going to be a little bit of a caveat. So they are a lot of stuff going on. So you have 1 effects, 2 effects, and 3 effects, but only one of the 3 is going to be able to work offhand. So you do have to be careful as far as like, oh, do I want to push in that extra dark crystal? So whatever you got to do. So this one is obviously great, another final damage increase, but this one does not work in the background. I have tried out because I want to switch over to Ruby. I think I should have like a clip showing that. This one works. The increased crit damage, that portion works by 12% all the way to 18% for 25 seconds. So this proctored in background so that's good. As far as the recovering dodge effects right here, this does not apply either. So you're pretty much using it, just not really that great unless you're like a whale or like a dolphin or fish. You want to put in her 4 piece, that's great. But other than that, I think some other option is definitely going to be the good old Samir pieces. Like hers is always going to be good. 2 piece reset. Let's say you're not even going to roll for Annabella in the Matrix. You can definitely go for Samir, go for Crow, or even go for Shiro. I think those are always going to be good standard matrices to be equipping to any weapons. And then as for my own personal build, this is what I have. So this is, you can definitely consider this one to be the gas version because I do have Anna's matrices on her own. If you want to have the burn comp, you would just kind of switch the matrices over to rubies, and then rubies one will go over to Annabella, and that's pretty much it. So there's not much of a difference overall. And then obviously with Lynn, I am using a 4 piece as well. So yeah. As far as let's say free to play version, this is a pretty much what I think is a good setup. You got the 0 for the support, you do some healing, you do some shield action, you got some attack going on at 6 stars. So this is great. This is definitely a must-have for a free to play player, especially if you want to be maining flame. And the king is obviously just doing king's own things right there, just providing a massive shatter once you do have more stars up. I only just got King not too long ago, so that's why I don't really have any stars. But if you are able to get some stars on him, he is going to be fantastic. So I think this is overall a very good build for if you want to pair that alongside with Annabella. So that's pretty much what I have as for the free to play as the standard plus Annabella weapon.